Hi, fifth graders. Mrs. Jensen here again. So today we're going to focus on the atmosphere. We've already talked about the biosphere, the hydrosphere, and the geosphere. So if you haven't watched those yet, you're going to want to watch those first and then come back to this one. Notice that my color has changed. So if you have your orange, that'd be great to use that as we go through. In my opinion, the atmosphere is one of the more complicated systems. There's different layers to the atmosphere, but for the purpose of what we're going to be studying, we're not going to spend a ton of time diving into that. However, if that's something that is interesting to you, then I do encourage you to research the different layers of the atmosphere and see which of the layers has what, I guess, responsibilities or roles that it plays in the atmosphere in general. But when we think of the word atmosphere, or when we see that, when we are looking at that system, the atmosphere is the air around the earth that is made up of different gases. We know that air is made up of particles that are too small to be seen. We learned that when we were studying matter back in the fall. We know that there's lots of different gases that make up the earth, oxygen obviously being one of them. But the atmosphere is just all of that air that is around the earth. It actually extends about 6,000 miles. When we think of that or see that prefix atmo, that means air. So whenever we see that, we can use that to kind of figure out what that word means. So an aerologist is a scientist who studies the atmosphere. An element that happens in the atmosphere, or something that you maybe didn't realize, was that all of the weather takes place in our atmosphere. It plays a lot of different roles and it does a lot of different things. For example, it keeps out that harmful radiation, but it still lets in the sun's heat, that solar heat. Some other things that the atmosphere does, I guess you could say, that I didn't write on here, is that it kind of traps heat. That's when we see that greenhouse effect. You probably have heard that and maybe didn't even know what that was. If you're like, I want to know more about that, I encourage you to just research and investigate the greenhouse effect. So, like I said before, there are lots more I could discuss about. There's a lot more things I could discuss about the atmosphere, but for the purpose of this unit, this is about where we're going to stop. If I change my mind and I find something that I feel like is more valuable, or information that I would like you to know as we continue our study with this unit, I will definitely share that. But as far as right now, I think this is where I'm going to stop. So I'm going to encourage you to look at those same pictures and videos, or not videos, pictures, drawings, whatever you've been using in the previous days, to go now and add in examples of atmosphere, elements of the atmosphere that you notice. However, we know that air is made up of particles too small to be seen. So just because you don't see something tangible, like something you can actually touch, think about, is there an example of air or that atmosphere in that picture? So I thank you for listening. When we come back, we're going to look at some examples of how they interact, and it's going to be great. So I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.